Hello, I'm Adam Willis.
I'm George Vere.
And I'm Ian Coulter.
And this is actually a commentary for the Starship Osiris, which we released on Blu-ray and DVD. Now, if you haven't got a copy of the Starship Osiris on Blu-ray or DVD, don't panic. Just head along to willisandvere.com and fucking buy it, right? It's really good. Pay £10. I'll send it to you. I've got a box of them under my bed.
Yeah.
Shift them. And if we've run out, we've run out. You've missed your chance. Okay, so if you have got that, brilliant. You're in the right place. So what you want to do is you want to load it up in your DVD player and you want to play this commentary alongside of it. I know that's not a particularly good way of doing it, but it's the best we could do.
Yeah.
Because we've released it.
The only way.
So, yep, load that up and then pause this and then play it again when you've done that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, there was a bit of time for you to do that. So you should now see the screen with a very handsome gentleman and three women.
Just to be clear, he's talking about George Vere
I'm talking
himself.
about myself. So, yep, Ian's hovering over the cursor now, and we're going to count down together. And when I say play, we're going to press.
You say blast off or something.
Oh, I said blast off. Okay, I'll go 3, 2, 1, blast off, and then we'll start it. Then you want to start the movie. Okay, so we're going to go 3, 2, 1, blast off. And here we are in the Starship Osiris.
Hooray!
Okay.
So yeah. You wanted to say something at the start, Adam?
Yeah, I was just to anyone who doesn't know where we filmed this. This is Edinburgh 2017.
Fascinating.
Me and George were getting on. Spirits were high. And this was the second time we did the Starship Osiris. The first time we did it in a much smaller venue, and some people came to it. And this one was huge. It was a really long venue called the White Belly.
Sometimes some people came.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think to be fair, after the first week, we had good audiences. It was the same the previous year.
Oh.
So that's a thing I added in where I used to throw the programs. Also, people that don't really know who we are or what any of this is, I'm George Vere.
For some reason I have the DVD.
That's George.
It might be useful, by the way, if you're watching this, to have the volume of the DVD on a little bit as well, so you could hear what's going on, or maybe not. It doesn't really matter. We're listening to it at the same time.
Yeah, just turn us off if we're talking too much.
Yeah. So I used to do a thing where I used to throw the programs at the girls for comedy. Also, this happened quite a lot. It looks off the cuff, but actually quite a lot of time, audience would drip in late and I'd go and give them programs.
I'd be around this time, I'd be floating around the back trying to really get into the character.
You'd be floating like a turd.
Not like a turd. I'd be floating around the back, thinking about what's his motivation, what's his objective.
Creeping around the back.
Whose objective?
The character's objective.
What character? It's just you.
It's just you.
Yeah, what's my objective?
So this really should be sort of insight into the show. So the character of Evans, people don't actually know, is actually based entirely on Adam Willis.
Well,
the sort of stinking character.
You just said that we were telling the truth, and then you've gone and told a massive lie.
Are you saying that the character of Evans isn't based on you?
I'm saying it's certainly.
Are you saying you don't stink? Seriously.
I never played the character Stinky.
What we'll do, the next thing we'll release is a smell-o-vision thing. So a scratch, one of those. Do you remember those stinky scratch card things you used to have in the Beano?
Yeah, but you'll fucking.
We'll get that, and it'll be
make mine extra stinky.
I think it'll be made illegal.
It won't be as stinky
it'll be based. Oh, here we go. A bit more information. The lanky prick. We did that.
Where was that one? Where did we do?
We did that on. It was
that fucking roundabout
Brunswick Place.
Yeah.
Just off Princess, near the cinema.
We've tagged loads of posters for different shows, and have we ever gotten into trouble for tagging posters?
I don't think so. I think I got them to replace it though. So we did that right at the beginning of the Fringe, and I said someone did it, and they replaced it for us.
We did get into trouble in our first year. There was a security guard that saw us doing it and got all shifty.
But I remember the year before we had to do lanky mug in case children.
Oh yeah, we did. We had to get it approved by the Underbelly because it was in the Underbelly complex.
A bit of trivia.
Yeah. Should we have a little chat about the costumes right at the beginning?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what I'd say about it actually.
Well,
grandma
one thing
made
I can
them.
say is that George's tights have been described as so tight that you can tell that he isn't circumcised.
Which I think the thing I think is interesting about that is that the reviewers were sitting right at the back of this room when they wrote that review.
It was a tiny room, not this room.
It's this room.
Is it this room?
I think it means you have a massive penis.
A bit desperate.
Yes.
I don't think it actually thinks it has a massive penis. I think it means that the tights are very tight.
Don't lie, Adam.
They also said they could see the penis through my
What did they
dungarees.
say? What did they say about? But do you remember when they said about when you because when we first did a series play about World War II, a lot of people don't know Adam is naked in series play about World War II, and he used to cover his genitals with a little sock. A little baby booty sock,
Right.
because actually the problem we had with it is that the sock was too roomy, So we started using a thimble from a doll's house, but actually
Right,
that worked perfectly.
now you're talking of me acting.
Oh, sorry. Were you acting?
Yeah, look, there I am.
Look at Adam's haircut in that.
It's
Can you
fine.
talk about your haircut? Is there a reason you decided to have it long at the,
I would have got
the
that.
sideburns?
I would have got that haircut from a barber's in Leytonstone.
Yeah.
For £10.
My question.
This point we're always, because like we never know how long you're gonna like fucking go off on a rant for.
You could have done this ages
just make
ago.
it up as you're going on. So we hold the coffin.
Yeah,
for a
but
normal
also
amount of
this obviously, like, I mean, I assume people that know the show can assume, but obviously there's always a girl in the audience. I noticed at that point. She always gets mentioned again later. I always go up to her in the song. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
Speaking French.
look at that bald fuck.
Go and get changed, please.
That'd be
Adam.
rude
Look at that
about the
little bald
audience.
guy.
Yeah, there is a bald guy's head.
Who's the weirdest audience member there, in your opinion?
I don't know. They all look like freaks. There's so many bald people. Look at that fuck in
Yeah,
the front row.
that
with the
one.
shiny
I remember.
bald
That
head.
was one of the first things I noticed is
I
the
think he's a
glare
genuine
off his
guy.
head.
Angry voice. Scary.
Just so we can sync this up, just in case you've lost a bit out at some point. I'm going to try and do a sync up. So, what can I say? With Captain Harrison, played by me, as members of George Vere's the Starship Osiris. So
Yeah,
synced
that's
up.
what we can hear.
Yeah, that's what we can hear.
They're clapping now.
This walk got longer and longer. So we did the
it
Soho
took bloody ages.
recently, the Soho Theatre, a run of this show at the Soho Theatre. We said we weren't going to do it again, and we did. It was very good, wasn't it? Well received.
Yeah, I
Good
enjoyed
audiences.
myself.
Meh.
You didn't have a good
Says
time,
Ian.
Ian.
No, it's alright.
It could have been brilliant, and Ian wouldn't have had a good time. So let's not worry about that. But I think what I think was nice about it and really genuine is that we got all the cast back, and they're really genuine guys.
Well,
And
you say
Alex.
that, but, no, but you're taking the piss. But
I am.
like
I am. Yeah.
Molly, who
All right, cool. So I'm walking down the middle. No, go on. Talk about Molly.
Molly came back from China.
Which
Should we
one's
say
Molly?
who the
Go on.
people, the other people in the show are?
Nah. This walk I think was always really funny because they're gone.
Well, it's not really clear until they come up.
I was
it's
playing
not
piano
interesting
too
either.
bloody long.
Basically,
Huh?
I was playing piano too bloody long.
What you mean in general or in the show?
In general
It wasn't
and
just
in the
like an
show.
outburst. And X was then okay. I always think in these shots I look very handsome.
Do
But
you?
my hair looks a
Gee.
bit weird.
you
Your
always
forehead looks quite big.
No,
Do you know what pisses me
that's
off?
the camera adds on 2 inches on the
Do
forehead.
you know what really
Yeah.
pisses me off is I've had a few times where I've come out of the show
Yeah.
and because I could do the flyers at the end because George doesn't want to talk to people.
That's actually true. But
That is true. And and I've got like a nice face.
Diva.
what do you mean you got a nice face?
Like a likable face.
Go on, let the boy finish.
And that, yeah, I come out and sometimes there's been one occasion where,
Wienerish.
a group of girls were like, told me that George is really handsome, which I found really annoying. And then they said, sort of afterwards, they just went, "Oh, you're cute," and I was like,
Yeah.
"Fuck off."
But surely it's not a surprise to you that girls find me physically attractive and they don't find you
But
physically.
it's not. It sounds like it's not a surprise to you, mate.
But it's not because girls don't find you attractive.
All right.
No, I'm kidding. It's horrible, isn't it?
Thanks, Ian.
Yeah, it's quite horrible.
I know I've been horrible if Ian intervenes and says, "All right, like stop being horrible," so I'll stop for a bit because Ian's like really nasty.
Apparently.
So
Yeah.
here's another thing. I used to add the word. I changed some of the words to New York sounding words for comedy.
People
I think
always
that happened
laugh.
The second time, that didn't happen. That wasn't in the first one.
No, it's because I did it. I think once. So with everything we've done, we get bored of it, especially me, as we go
Yeah.
along and change it drastically.
Well, like Serious Play, you just as Serious Play about World War II, our second
Brilliant.
show.
Brilliant as well.
There was one scene you just stopped doing
Yeah,
and would just improvise.
funny.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Okay, here we go. So more of the. This is the first time that most of the cast is speaking.
So that's Molly. That's Molly
George's
Bird.
shoulder.
She now lives in China.
There's
that's-
Lola.
Lives in America
Lola
now.
Claire,
Yes,
American.
okay.
And she
And
lives
Joe
in
McGarry,
Lebanon.
somewhere foreign as well.
That's me.
And that's Adam Willis, convicted gunpoint rapist.
That is
No, that's the
bleak.
other
Out of
one.
con- So
That might need some context.
there's
From Adam Willis, convicted gunpoint.
so if you Google Adam Willis, right? Okay. Oh my god, I'm so good at acting. If you Google,
But it's interesting. If you don't have to Google just Adam Willis. Even if you Google Adam Willis, the Starship Osiris, it still comes up with the gunpoint rapist.
because
over you.
I'm not as famous as that gunpoint rapist.
He's more instrumental in the Starship Osiris than you
He's
are.
not. He's not at all. He's not at all.
A nod there.
This dance, I think, more or less was choreographed by the girls.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of things, like the harmonies as well. I remember the first time.
I think Ian did some of them.
Did I?
I feel like
Do you think?
probably
Can't
did.
remember.
I think they did.
I think they just made it
I
up.
remember us like going into the kitchen early on the show because we were so lucky to have them. They were great.
Sorry, can we talk about the hit on the head? So
Is that the one?
Oh fucking hell!
no. So there was lots of times I hit Adam on the head in the show.
It's
and
coming
at the
up.
show. No, it's
happened.
Oh, it's happened. It's happened.
But what I think was funny is
Fucking hell.
there was one time. Let's talk about that. Mate.
There was one time where George jumped, and also as well,
I
we should
jumped
talk
and
about
swung my arm.
you made all the things on the
I
projector.
did make all the videos. Well, I stole them online.
Yeah. What?
What?
Anyway, yeah, he hit me really fucking hard, like a right cunt. He jumped forward and underestimated how hard he'd hit me. And I was angry for the whole show.
Yeah. But I apologised during the show.
Yeah, there's a point, so I'll point it out when we get there, but there's a point, the only point where me and George can talk in the show, and if we're like pissed off with each other, we can have an argument, or like we can try and make each other laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was really angry for the whole show.
Yeah.
And then George came over.
Apologised.
Apologised.
I knew I did it too hard. A few things happened there. I think so we have the bit where I punch the alien, Adam dressed as the alien, and he doesn't respond, which again wasn't always.
The audience
in it,
let
That's kind of the point where we know if the audience thinks it's real or fake.
Yeah.
If they think it's a piece of shit, which is fine because we
can win them later.
Yeah, like we did in Rye.
But more often than not, they laugh at that bit, so we know that they're on board.
Yeah, that's kind of our litmus test.
Mm-hmm. More like a shitness test.
Look at this.
Do you want to talk a little bit about
Sexism.
the direction of kissing the girls that you wrote into the show?
We wrote into the show.
Well, I don't remember writing.
There's an idea which I find crazy that like I just did this as some ego trip. I mean, obviously,
You find that crazy? That people
yeah,
would
because
think
it's. I mean,
that's really strange.
Is it not so obvious that that's what we're doing? Surely, if it was so obvious,
No, but you write into every show. Or
you kiss a girl.
What about-
you kiss a girl.
what
Not
about the
every
next
show,
one
but
and the one we're doing
most
now?
most things. There's like you have kissed a girl at some point.
okay, what about Serious Play World War 2 and now the one we're doing?
Well,
Willis
you-
and Vere Genius.
You were
on
like
the Vault Festival.
you're
Can
doing.
you kiss Martin in Serious Play?
No, I didn't kiss Martin in Serious Play.
You were like flirting
Martin
with
was-
Monica.
I wasn't flirting with
Yeah.
Now, here's a thing. We decided not to mic the girls. We realised it probably wasn't necessary and it would have cost an extra £20, so we didn't do
But
it.
we did Mike Ian,
Yeah.
We did.
which is stupid.
For one
That's
of
because
the
Ian's a
shows.
man.
Is it sexist?
Yeah, but we are proudly sexist.
Oh yeah, we're not on equal
Adam is.
opportunity.
No. The guy didn't have enough mics, so we couldn't mic the girls, which is annoying. What do you think? What's the sort of general consensus on Adam's haircut? Sorry, in this. And
I'm gonna look a little
Body?
bit fat there as well, aren't I? A little bit.
I think you look a bit like a woman.
did
A
booby?
bit like a woman. Why'd you say booby?
I said that the outfit's a bit booby.
Yep.
It's good acting though.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Were the sweat patches under your arms a character choice?
Yeah.
He sprayed them on.
They're drawn on, yeah.
Drawn.
Can you talk about the inspiration for this
Dance.
ludicrous dance?
Um,
What style is that?
I made these badges that the girls are wearing and we were all wearing.
Cool, dude.
It is cool. I made them out of cardboard and
Yeah.
some silver tape.
Can I go back to as well? Because
Nope.
I think it is important to.
Important. Nothing.
No,
we do is
but like
important.
if people are listening to this, so you made all the pieces of projection. You
Yeah.
didn't steal all of it,
No, I didn't.
but like.
What's
Yeah.
Adam doing? That wasn't blocked into the script. That's weird because that wasn't blocked into the script.
Adam, what are your legs doing?
Ian, as well, at this point, because you're famously on your phone a lot throughout the performances, are actually on your phone.
No, I wasn't. I was never on Starship. I never had my phone.
Did you not?
No. We added that into Serious Play because we thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I just
Because
thought
I think you
assumed
used to do
were
it in
doing
rehearsals. and so we added
Maybe
it
it was a joke that George told I took on as true that you were doing it anyway, so we just added it in.
That is true, I think.
Yeah, but for another play, you dunce.
What I find weird is referring to this as a play because, like, it's
Yeah.
such a piece of shit. I remember there was parts where I would be just like standing at the side or something in this, or on stage, thinking it's so stupid the audience have paid money to watch
Yeah,
this.
absolutely.
Especially during Serious Play.
Keep paying.
Keep going. We did the Soho and we had a really good run. We made loads of money
And then
there.
it fucking kicked off on Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bit of craziness with the audience.
We'll tell that. We can tell that story later on.
Yeah. This was always a fun bit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes the audience were 100% not behind me and weren't
Yeah, because what
laughing
you're
at all.
saying is
True.
really mean.
True.
I think they shouldn't be behind you on this. But I don't mind if they.
More like a hair don't's funny.
There's one time when you did that and couldn't stop
I think
laughing.
you added the pauses in.
I made them longer.
Yeah.
I think the hair don't line.
Well, do you remember that?
More
First
like
time you did it,
Well, I remember.
you laughed for
I
about
do.
a
It
minute.
was in Rye.
In Rye,
Yeah.
and then you were laughing. The audience, everyone was laughing
Yeah.
at my fucking head.
You know your hair.
Yeah.
Your hair don't.
It's on
It
my
was.
head.
It wasn't funny. I said my hair do more like a hair don't. I laughed so much. I couldn't stop laughing. It must have been about a minute.
Yeah, and I think
Yes.
you forgot your
It was
line.
funny
after
though,
that.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the first time you'd done it.
Yeah, it was funny. Look at Adam.
They love that.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Look at Adam. Why was the Adam? I've got a question. Why were the dungarees always so low?
Well, they sort of loosen as the thing goes on. I think it's because the first thing I have to do, because Joe puts them on and like does them up later on in the show.
Later on.
Yeah, later on she does.
So
And
why
then
at the start of the show?
at the start of every show, I've just gone.
Okay.
And also they slowly.
Can I just
slow
check? So if after this people listen to this, go back and look at the start, will it already be drooped? Be honest.
down. I don't know.
Will it
I
already be
haven't
drooped?
watched this.
Adam,
I don't watch.
will
the
it already
DVD.
be drooped?
I don't know.
We'll
I
find
bet
out.
anything. The truth of this is that you didn't bother checking.
I'll bet
this.
you.
Find out next
I will
week.
bet you a Mars bar
That what?
that it isn't drooped.
So because we've been recording for about 15 minutes and then a few of that was us talking. So in
Look.
about 12 minutes, it's drooped all the way down.
I'm dancing around a lot.
Not that much. What's that?
You look really depressed, Adam.
Yeah, that's the character.
I do as well.
So back into like what's happening in the script. Obviously, we made it slightly. I mean, I can actually sing that high, but I'm struggling
Yeah, man.
pretending I can't. I can sing that high,
Yep.
but I'm
Also,
pretending I can't more.
As well, I don't know how much people know about it. Me and George wrote the script together probably in about November 2015.
15.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't November. It was straight after drama school, so it was like September. I mean, straight after the Fringe,
Edinburgh.
where we did into the
So like
it was
September time.
September, October 2015.
Yeah, and like
We
it
did a
went.
version of it in November.
And it went through a lot of what was really hard about writing the show is we tried to we wrote the like first half of the real show, this half first, and it's changed massively. But then we tried to write the fake version, and we realized that actually we needed to finish the play. So we wrote the whole fake play first, which also changed later when we did a special edition. We did a
which
special
is
edition.
obviously available on this DVD if you want to watch that as well.
Yeah, please do.
How the play really ends.
Yeah.
And look what happens here. George carries on singing.
I think lots of people left the show who didn't know us, saying, or actually people we knew even left saying, I didn't know how much of that was real and how much that was fake.
Yeah.
Idiots.
I mean, nothing in it was real, obviously, right?
Yeah.
100% of it is fake, and like I'd say, probably 95% of it was scripted.
Yeah.
Is scripted on the night.
But it's
The bits that were always improvised is the bit later where I'm talking to the audience.
but it's mad, isn't it? Like
look at
stuff.
Joe.
Really
bored.
it's mad what you can get away with when you put that premise into a show. Like I remember one show I kicked the wire out of the piano and people were like, "That's genius." And another time, a woman got from the audience and told George to fuck off.
It was in this run of Edinburgh, wasn't it?
Yeah. In this room, she got up from the front
She
row
called him a lanky prick.
No.
and told us off.
Yeah. Then her family were really embarrassed.
Did this ever go significantly wrong, George?
Um.
All the interactions with the girl?
No. I think it was I'm trying to think if ever someone was younger than I thought they were. Because we joked about that, but I don't think it ever actually happened. I say, "How old are you?" And they're like 15. I'm like, I just ran off.
I pulled like a 13-year-old autistic boy up at one point.
Sorry, was this for something different?
No, this is.
Oh,
No, you pulled up someone who couldn't walk properly.
I also did that, yeah.
Yeah.
Are we talking about that?
Yeah.
Adam's
Enjoyed
chin. Are we going to talk about Adam's neck in this?
Yeah,
Where is
Adam, what's going on with your
I
neck?
don't know where it is.
I can see it. Fucking hell.
What was that?
I don't know. This was just Captain Howson pepping up Evans. So really, Captain Howson's a good guy. Well, Captain Howson's clearly a good guy, and Evans is a runt.
No.
Sometimes I'd make the key of this higher, so when Adam tried to sing it, it'd be too
I'd
high
like
for him.
Arsehole.
I'd like it when that happened.
You
And
both
sometimes then Adam would do it low and then not be able to
Yeah.
finish it. They had to do it high. That was always funny, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was that one time
My
where
first
we were in
line
the
coming up.
tech.
This bit I really like.
No one
There's
ever
this
laughed.
one time where we were in the tech for Soho, and I did my.
This one time, it was like 3 months ago.
I did. No. When we were in the tech,
Ian's first live.
where I did the little turn. There's a little joke there, turn joke. We don't know why it works, but when I turn my body, and it just always works.
Well, you say,
but as I did it,
I'm not a bottom feeder.
Yeah, and I
know why they laugh.
And as I did that,
because you are a bottom feeder.
That's not true. And as I did that, George made a fart sound with his mouth. And
I didn't.
You did.
A fart came out of your arse.
And then everyone started laughing at me.
People you didn't know.
And I got embarrassed. And then Ian asked me to do the song, and I threw a little pad and refused. Because I knew
this was a few months ago.
Because I knew that Ian was going to just put it up and try and embarrass me again.
Hang on a minute. Adam forgot to put the head leech on.
Oh, that's really annoying. This version of it, Adam didn't put the leech on his head.
That's a joke that's carried
around. Why you didn't?
Actually, instead of that, because I'm sick of this stupid joke. How long has that joke been going on?
What joke?
The joke where I didn't put the head. So behind the scenes.
You got it on now.
Yes. So the joke being that I'm hideous and look like a fish.
Yeah.
How long has that joke been going on, do you reckon?
I think since you were born.
It is not.
Acting there.
Yeah, good acting.
Ian,
we used to make jokes that Adam hadn't put the head leech on in rehearsals, which is that shark thing.
Weirdly, he hadn't put it on for that one.
No, interesting for this. What am I doing with my starts as well?
Can I actually...
My starts?
Yeah, stupid. Since Ian's mugging me off, can we talk about one of my favourite moments in rehearsal, which still cracks me up today, is when we were directing George pulling the ribbon out of the mouth. So the ribbon is attached to the head leech.
No, that was annoying because you weren't telling me what to do properly.
With a small piece of very delicate Velcro. And George was very clear that he needed to hold on to it. And then George pulled a bit of the ribbon with the Velcro, and the Velcro was stronger than Ian's grip.
He wasn't.
Yanked it out of Ian's hand.
He wasn't clear. He was not clear.
It's probably not that funny.
It was funny, yeah.
Oh, it was a really funny...
But it's a weird atmosphere when, people are laughing at Ian, because in any rehearsal room we're in, the commonplace thing is that everyone's laughing at Adam for something stupid.
Or it's just, you know what I mean? It just makes things easier.
Gross.
Also, I kept the audio of this kissing bit in because I thought it was really horrible. It made the character look disgusting.
Yeah.
It's weird kissing. So the kissing thing people ask me about a lot, it must be great kissing girls and stuff. Sort of load of losers asking me. It in truth, it is first.
George doesn't actually like kissing girls. So.
Yeah.
At first awkward and later boring.
But also as well, in complete honesty, I'd love to throw you under the bus. But when we were directing it, me and George had to have a lot of conversations where it was quite awkward. We knew we were going to get to that rehearsal where George had to kiss the girls, and I sort of had to kind of
kiss them
because I'm not normally really the director. George kind of runs it, and then I kind of give my opinion.
I feel like we should talk about this a bit. The video. So this is Captain Harris's wife, played by Adam's friend Leanne.
Yeah, this is Leanne Nagel.
What confused me, and I thought was the weirdest thing ever, is that Adam was friends with someone as pretty as her.
Did I tell you as well? I don't know if I said this. She said on the day, because this kiss, because you seemed quite nervous. She asked if you were gay. Did I tell you that?
No, you're only saying that now to try and mug me off.
I remember you telling me that.
Well, that little kiss on the lips.
Yeah.
I
think you're being very respectful.
Yeah, I am being very respectful. I also think that now I wouldn't be as.
I've forgotten about that.
Yeah. Also, this wasn't in the original version. It's the same we added.
It changed loads from the original version.
And the obvious joke here is that that's
George
not
bulked
me.
up for this
Federico Mangione.
Moro.
Did I make that last name up? Federico Moro.
And the joke there is that he's more muscly than me. But yeah, this was we filmed this. I think we filmed the whole thing in a day, really quickly. Yeah, she's standing on a box there because I couldn't hold her up. And this this shot we did actually use my arm.
Oh, yeah,
we decided it was better. I do look a bit gay in that. I can see why she thought that.
What do you mean by that?
Well, the tank top.
Homophobe.
Oh, what is that? Oh, funny.
Now this dance took ages to learn.
And what are our thoughts of when everyone turns around? Ian in that bit.
Wait, the spin.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Let's watch Ian now in the spin bit. What are our thoughts about this?
What, here?
Yeah.
Well,
it's better now. It's better now.
Yeah.
Do you remember in the original version? You used to be about 2 foot away from Joe.
Yeah.
And your arms fully extended.
Yeah, because I'm actually respectful.
Whereas Adam was grinding on Molly and stuff on the first day.
And she actually had to complain to me and George.
Actually, interestingly, in
Bullshit.
Starship, I had about 15 complaints from the girls of sexual harassment against Adam.
About this,
And I'm very happy
just to
to
be
talk
clear,
about it
that's
publicly.
just to be clear,
Gunpoint
that's
rapist.
Adam Willis, the gunpoint rapist.
No,
not me.
it's not. But that is you. It is, but that is you.
What were these complaints then? What happened?
You touching their asses, like calling them sweetheart and
Oh, you're
darling.
angry because I
This is funny.
Toots.
Say-
This bit used to make me laugh, where Adam was doing this, and then he does one with his head that always made me laugh. Oh, he didn't do it this one. You did like a spin thing with your head. I found very funny. This bit with the big robot used to be. So it's been through different versions, but it started off being at the very beginning of the show. It didn't happen on stage. It was talked about. The girls were on stage with Adam and I used to go outside and fight it. And then it was the girls wearing a big condom type thing with a head and walking around, and we saw the fight like that. And then it became the version I liked best, which is a big sort of Chinese dragon type thing where I go in it and stuff. And because we wanted the scale to get bigger. As we carried on doing the show, we wanted the scale to get much bigger.
Yeah, man.
And we always had inside in our heads this idea of like this huge like fabric tent like structure, I think. It was really fun as well. Like, but I think because of the nature of the show, because it looks amateurish, we made all the props. I mean, we did everything sort of together ourselves, but we made all the props. Even down to like George sewed the like epaulets on that jacket, and like we painted that chair in my back.
Yeah,
really
that was my office. It was like an office chair I had for some reason. And
really fucking dumb fact about that chair.
Ian wants to say something. I think.
Sorry.
So I was going to say that bit where I throw the jacket at George. There's one time where it just wasn't there, and you looked at me, and I was just like,
there was another time where that happened, I think, and I was already wearing it.
Yeah,
Also,
no, that was.
Was that it?
Yeah, you were wearing it.
You should talk about you.
I'd had it on from the beginning of the show, and not realised. And I was annoyed that no one had told me.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the music?
Not really.
You wrote this.
Do we want to talk about that during the scene with this? It's quite funny, this bit, is it not? Oh, fine. Go on, yeah, talk about this.
George's voice sounds funny.
Good.
So what do you want to know? They just asked me to write something exciting and tense, and that's what I did.
So all of the music in the show that isn't an existing song, Ian wrote. I mean, that's a stupid thing.
That's pretty interesting as well. That sound there of the robot going is actually a homeless man that we filmed in 2015.
And
for Interview with the Genius, our first show, and I slowed it down and
he goes,
but you can find that clip on YouTube and Interview with the Genius, one of the Interview with the Genius trailers. Back to the music. So some of them are like pop songs, 80s pop songs, and for some reason also I Need Your Love by Calvin Harris that Ian does like covers of. But everything else on it is Ian composed for the show, and it's very brilliant, and we're still hoping at some point to put an album out at some point, but it might take a little while. We'll see if the show gets a renewed energy enthusiasm again. That bit where I poke my head out and I think that joke really lands. Where
I never knew what people were laughing at.
It used to have
I couldn't see.
Did you not?
Yeah.
Oh, I love the roll. That's one of my favourite bits.
Yeah. And at this point, my mic fell out, so I filled it by saying clap. And
every fucking time we've done this with mic packs, they're.
That's because you wrestle. And
one thing I really like about this version of the George Vere character has gone through. Essentially, it's a similar sort of thing, but the shows the different scenarios and different so he's from different backgrounds. In this version, I suppose the original version is this is an amateur group, and it's sort of the same thing. In serious play, I play myself a bit more. We play ourselves who have just done Starship.
Yeah, we play the writers of Starship.
It's sort of one level out, more meta.
This is also, I don't know if you can tell in the video, this is George as well.
Oh, yeah. And Zaglar. And in Interview with the Genius, I play, and in our new show, Genius, I play, and again, a sort of version of myself if I was a contemporary, like a controversial artist.
Yeah.
My point being is that, what was my point?
It's gone through a lot of different, it's a similar character, but it's gone through a lot of different changes.
So I think what that means, and I think we both have that essentially. We have characters that are kind of similar, and it goes through things.
I think there's things we've really realised, and I guess it's one of the reasons we have kept working together, is that we've really we've got a good idea of how our dynamic works.
Yeah. That was what I was going to say, sorry, about the character, is that, I've forgotten again. Stop talking when I fucking think of things to say that are good.
Stop shouting at me, Jesus.
Oh, stop being a monk. That was it. I said stop being a mongrel.
Okay, go on.
Is that also bad in some way?
Probably. Go on.
That's got to stay in because we can't start again.
Oh, what's wrong with me saying mongrel?
Just bleep it out.
wrong with you saying mongrel.
Maybe it is racist, and we have to bleep all those words every time we say it out.
I don't know.
So the character is I've forgotten again. I keep remembering it, and then talk about something
lots
else.
of changes.
Yeah.
Look at Adam's head in this scene.
Yeah.
though.
Everyone look at Adam's head.
But this is very important. This is the big turn of the play.
The big turnip.
The big twist.
That's the big turnip.
Not big turnip.
I thought you said big turnip.
This is where you forget your line.
This is
What's annoying is
And
Adam
shit
actually
yourself.
forgot his line.
Yeah.
This is the point of the show where the stage always smelt of shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was linked to Adam.
The girls used to complain about it as well.
Yes.
well.
Ian, what were you doing right now? Were you acting?
Just
were
looking.
You pretending? Were you pretending? I know looking, but were you acting like you?
No,
didn't
I
know
was.
what was going on?
I think I was just waiting for the things to happen that normally happen.
It's so drawn
Okay, not doing
out,
good
isn't
acting.
it?
No.
You weren't going like, oh, Adam doesn't normally do this.
Well, I wasn't supposed to.
No, hold on. Anyone listening who does acting, you're not supposed to only do acting if you're told to. You're supposed to.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
point of
Oh, I
my
see.
roles that I no one really cared.
No. But your role in this would, if it was real, you would know that Adam normally has a line now.
Yeah, but if it was real, I also wouldn't just be sitting there the whole time. I'd have gone home.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. He's won us. He's beat us. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Are you saying that you don't? Are you saying that you don't believe your character's objective?
No, I don't.
I remembered my point. I know everyone's waiting for it.
Yeah.
The character is what I like about this version of the George Vere character is that he's completely socially unaware, and he thinks the show is brilliant.
Nothing like real life.
No, he thinks the show is absolutely brilliant, and also is sort of oblivious to the fact that some of it is really, really rubbish. And this reminds me so much. So the show is based on. It's mainly based on my experience at drama school. So I came up with the idea and then told it to Adam, and he thought it was really funny. Based on my experiences of at drama school, people creating their own work and the work and the shows being rubbish and hugely self-indulgent.
And I think I like the idea because obviously we've been went to the same drama school in the same community, and it reminds me as well. I did a really
Community.
I did a really terrible
Let's carry
sci-fi
on.
play when I was in secondary school as well, and it's all reminiscent of
Was
that.
it, what was it?
Return to the Forbidden Planet,
Return to the,
and there's elements.
return to the return of the. Surely not
Return of the Forbidden Planet.
No, surely.
I don't know.
it's
Return
not
to the Forbidden Planet.
Surely it's not return of.
I suppose Return to
Return
the
of the
Forbidden
Forbidden Planet.
Surely not.
Planet. It was shit. Anyways.
Where's it been?
It's a shit show.
So this is the big turn. So this is the point where Adam.
The worm is termed.
And literally the worm has turned. In this case, there he is turning.
I really enjoy.
That one.
You look like cartoonish. Look at
I
that.
really enjoy
You look like a little
Manky.
Like,
I really enjoy playing
Manky Pokemon.
quiet, weak characters, and then they turn aggressive.
Yeah. Oh, the bit where Ian plays the piano is
Everyone always
brilliant.
laughed.
Yeah. I like that. Remember adding that in.
Subplot.
Your hair looks good, man.
More like a hair don't. His bit is very cartoonish. You look like a cartoon as well.
I think
Yeah.
what's
Look at
funny.
your face. Look at
I know,
your
I know,
face.
but again, this is. It does, yeah.
Can't.
I think what's. I think again, that's what I was saying about what I like so much about the character is that he knows he'll do that and shout on stage, and it'll be really if this was imagine this was real, that would be
It's humiliating.
excruciatingly embarrassing. But then the character would just carry on as if nothing happened because he's so unaware, and I find that sort of character really fun to play.
Whereas I guess conversely, my character's super aware
Yeah,
and knows what's going on, but
your character,
kind of weak.
I suppose, is a bit of the audience's eyes.
Yeah.
They should be sympathising with you because they should be seeing the same thing you're seeing, which is this is rubbish and really, really stupid and self-indulgent.
Yeah.
And then I think what's nice for people who come in thinking this is real and not know anything about the show is that they'll watch the first half and they'll go, "This is sexist, self-indulgent rubbish," and then you say this, you say it, and you qualify their things, which is exactly the same thing we did in Serious Play World War II, where
Ian gets up
the
and
show
says
is
that it's...
the beginning of the show is anti-Semitic and offensive and stupid. And then Ian Norton gets up, the guy who played the old Jewish guy, gets up and says that. And it makes the audience who aren't going along with it think, oh, I get it, it's intentionally bad. Or at least, even if they think that's real as well, and they go, oh, this person agrees with me.
And then advice I'd give to like anyone making this sort of shows, I'd say that's really good, because then if the audience aren't on side, they feel like they're stupid for not getting a joke. So even if the show is bad, it's like I think the brilliant thing about this show is that it worked in two completely different ways depending on the audience. So the more common version of the show is that the audience as a whole are on board from the beginning. So they're watching from the beginning, they're laughing from the beginning, they know what's going on, they get the joke. And all the way through to the end, there's laughter. Perhaps in the second half, we say the second half is after the turn. So there's the fake play and then there's the second half. After the second half, perhaps a bit less because the first half is so heightened, but generally laughs throughout. Then the audience I prefer is an audience that do not laugh at all at the first 15, 20 minutes because they think it's real. And then they love the second half. That's true of both shows. I mean, both I feel like that's a quirk that we have in what we make that is not true of other people. Because I've said that to other people, as other comedians as well. And basically, they like the idea for them of absolute silence is terrifying. And I think it's because we know we're going to turn them around. Yeah,
I know that if they're not laughing at the beginning, they'll be laughing at the end more. And I like that. And if they don't fully, then we win them over. And I think I can honestly say we've never had a show where one of those two things hasn't happened.
Yeah, but we've not won them over at the end.
Yeah, never. Even if it's been in Rye, which was a very strange audience of old people.
Sometimes it actually throws people off when we have,
this is weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
There's some elements of the show that I quite like, where the character's having to do something, that one of the characters is having to do something so fucking stupid and is also annoyed. And I think we both really find that sort of thing really funny. So
I find like,
don't go so close to your mic.
Oh, sorry. I find like really self-aware dancing funny, where the characters are like, they know.
The girls' dresses do look short there.
Yeah, my God.
They said the dresses were getting shorter, but I didn't realise. I think we were washing them. Maybe that's what it was. But I was trying to pull them out.
But Ian was trimming bits off every night.
What's Ian looking at right now?
I think
Ian was looking at the girls' legs.
His bottom.
I must have been.
Look at the droid thing just sitting in
there. Can I tell my fact about the chair? I said earlier that I was going to say is good. We painted the chair.
And now we have Adam's fact about the chair.
It is good. So the chair was originally a black
was free.
leather chair that George owned, an office chair. Yeah. And then we painted it completely white.
Yeah.
And then we painted, after that, realised we needed to have the black stripes, so we painted the black stripes back.
No. Sorry, it's stupider than that. we had, it was a black chair. We painted it black with white with the plan to paint black strips on it. We didn't think that would be easy just to leave it off. That's what actually happened. It's even stupider. That is stupid. The droid's quite funny. We went through different versions of the droid, of the nano droid.
Originally, me and my mum made a version. And
do you know what happened to that? I stamped on it.
Why'd you do that?
Because, I'll tell you why.
It had Christmas lights in it. And it
was shit. I'll tell you, no, Ian, was it good?
I can't remember.
I'll tell you now, it wasn't good. It was a dome, right? It didn't go in a straight line. It didn't. It didn't work.
It was like a little man.
It was a dome. Do you remember? It was like a
bomb.
Didn't
it used to fly?
One before that.
No, we had one that flew as well, but it didn't work. We really wanted one that could fly, but it never worked.
It's annoying as well because Neil pretends to make that work in his show.
Well, it didn't. It hit the wall.
It hit an audience member as well.
It was funny.
It was supposed to.
But we couldn't get it to work. But no. It's the Adams version wasn't good. The problem with the Adams version, it sort of worked, but it was paper mache and it was getting dented and stuff. My version was good. Mine is just a remote control car with a lunchbox screwed onto the top, but it sort of jiggles around and it did work. And then there was one where we had like a what's it called, like a long like radio. Oh yeah, we did. That was the very first version. It had a long thing so we could stick a note in it. But yeah, I think that's the thing with making your own shows and stuff. But also that's another tip. I think if you're making stuff and you've got literally no budget, don't worry about the show. Just make the show look rubbish.
Yeah, again, like I have absolutely no idea how to make anything, and I made a lot of the stuff.
Yeah,
and that's clear. It's clear.
And then just make it.
Look at that chair there.
I mean, I suppose you can't always do that, or just don't have any set. I mean, obviously we've got very, very limited set and props and stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry. What's that?
I don't know. I laughed.
Oh, was that a laugh?
It's a comedy.
Christ. What were you laughing at? Are you laughing at your posture?
No, performance.
Oh, right, okay. Look at your body in this.
Standing up to power.
You look like a clothes peg.
Weird flex, but
sorry,
okay.
that's coming from you, is it? I look like a clothes peg.
Yeah, you do.
You look like a fucking washing line.
Shut up.
The audience were
And
lapping
also
it up.
as well, George,
it up.
like, I mean, both of us to some extent, but more you, absolutely didn't use any of the voice training we received in this school. George's voice, every fringe gets absolutely fucked.
Oh, come on. I mean, I was literally shouting.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, I actually think like it gives an aesthetic to it that you can't get from like.
And that was only a problem with the singing bits. It wasn't a problem otherwise. My voice. I don't mind
Soho,
if my voice is a bit
mine
sore.
completely went.
Yeah, see, I think mine
Why
was...
do they always laugh at this bit?
With Adam throws the bottle over.
Yeah.
I think it's that he
a
picks
little
up
celebration.
I think maybe they remember the champagne bottle and then he picks it up and it's
I also
sort of
think
the
that
show. Also, this bit, sorry, with the screen.
Yeah, that's good.
And my headshots come up. It's like clearly the show is breaking down now.
Yeah.
And I think I think what's exciting perhaps about
Those
the
were your
second
real
half is
headshots
that-
as well.
No, I took them for comedy. But yeah, they are headshots I took, but they were for comedy.
Ian, what are you doing now? What's your motivation?
Waiting
now?
for my line.
You are just again no acting, just waiting for the line. Okay, fair enough.
I mean, this is what you get when you employ someone who's not an actor to act.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened with this actor as well.
Factor.
Why did you say factor?
more like.
I don't know. I was just trying to get in on the joke. It's just easier
It
if
was
I
joking
call
about
myself
you.
fat.
But you didn't say fat. You said factor.
Yeah, but
Factor 10.
thank you. See, that's what
Factor
I meant.
men more
Fact.
like. In brackets, factoring in that he fancies men,
Yeah,
Which is fine.
fine.
which is fine.
Do you have a problem with that?
Yes. When it's you, I think I do.
Okay. Do you have a problem with me fancying women?
Yes. So I'm not
So I'm
homophobic.
just slowly let you dig yourself out.
Yeah. What I find interesting about, as well, we didn't mention this in the first half, is that when the girls were making fun of Adam, that wasn't in the script, which I found really weird. When they were saying like arsehole and like
That was the
he
5%,
stinks
was it?
and stuff, that wasn't
Well,
in
I
the
was saying
script.
the opposite.
That was never
The
in the
script
script.
was the opposite.
In the script, they're supposed to kiss Adam and stuff,
Yeah.
but they always, for some reason, we never really spoke about it, but they always did that version where they called him an arsehole. and
This
stuff.
this bit of the show when we did it at Soho, our drama teacher that we had.
Let's not go into names and stuff. Let's just be vague.
Okay, I won't. But someone, a person that taught us at some point, decided to shout out. She wasn't happy that
She or he.
wasn't happy that the women don't take over the ship at this point, and that I do. And then an argument broke out in the audience. Someone told her to shut the fuck up. It was intense.
I was
got
out
out
of
of
the room.
hand.
This always happens when I'm out of the room. The audience get bored and they
Didn't get
cry for blood.
bored. They were enthralled. They were engaged for the first time in the show.
No. So yeah, it was a bit crazy. But I think a show like this, it gives the audience an inch, and sometimes they take a mile. If you give an audience the ability to sort of shout out during a show and stuff, they really run with it. People go crazy.
This was such a crash course in audience interaction. Like we used to ask people, like, who wants to come up on stage? And surprise, surprise, no fucker did.
Yeah, we learned that quite early on, I think. That if you ask people, they don't want to. Whereas if you drag them up, they will do it. And 9 times out of 10, or even more, people are fine with it.
George, literally, at one point, there was some little old biddy on the front row. And George needed some people
Hey,
up.
when was your mother in?
And George went. George was like, "Could you come up, please?" And she went, "Oh no, I don't. I wouldn't like to." And he went, "I wasn't asking." And she got up.
I probably didn't say, "Will you come up then?" Please? I probably said, "Get up, come up, then."
Come up, please.
Yeah, Adam's doing this now.
Yeah.
I think, and again, an interesting thing is we had to put on the
Molly with the blankets.
we had to put on the program and on the website and stuff of the show that the show is grotesque theatre, and it was because of this moment. Because if you look at Adam,
No, it gets worse in the
You
middle.
should look at me.
it's not fit for. Did we say under 17s because
What?
of the Adam's
I
facial
think-
expression
I think
and smell?
the underbelly actually asked if we could do it 21 plus
Oh yeah,
because of how grotesque it gets.
it's actually listed on the website as grotesque art.
Yeah.
Um,
Grotesque fart when
yeah.
Adam's
as
involved.
Grotowski art. Or something. I don't know what Grotowski is actually. I went to drama school, and I honestly don't know what Grotowski is. What is Grotowski, actually?
Oh,
He
there
did.
is.
Where is he from?
Boring!
Probably Russia.
Polish theatre practitioner.
I'm already bored of it.
Yeah, we don't care.
Who's this guy you brought up on stage?
Theatre laboratory. I wasn't listening to his name, but in the script, he's just written down as Brian.
Brian. We always call audience members who we force up on stage Brian and
Beth.
Yeah, Beth.
That's what we put in the script as placeholders for, because most of the lines to the audience are planned because we know roughly what responses are going to be.
This is like as well. I'm climbing to the audience. That's definitely like a health and safety hazard. It's only that like
you're in your underwear.
At the fringe.
That's the health and safety hazard.
They don't care.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do this.
You couldn't do that.
Better venues.
In fact, we've been told objectively we couldn't.
Now, this is interesting, this bit as well. The bit where Joe puts the overalls on. She used to put this over her costume, but Adam forced her to take her dress off for it. What did she do? Roll it down, wasn't it?
Liar.
Adam forced that to happen.
Liar, tights on fire.
And it was disgusting. A disgusting display, but that is everyday sexism.
I don't know.
Oh, look, here we go. The play's back on track again. Jim's
George is wearing an IKEA blanket. £3 IKEA blanket.
Jim's turned up. Good acting. I think what I like about this show as well, because when I was at drama school, that was when I realised I didn't want to be an actor when I was at drama school, because I used to be doing
the upset effect.
I used to be doing serious shows, and I used to be sitting backstage bored, or even on stage sometimes bored, pretending to listen when things were happening and just waiting for my line.
That's what I was doing.
Maybe you're not in our production.
Maybe you need to do serious shows.
But what's so good about comedy acting is that I wasn't once thinking about character or anything in this, and I think still we both gave good performances.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking, okay, next I'm going to be angry. I was just doing it because it was easy.
I briefly put that fight up on my Tinder and they removed it.
Did they?
Yeah, they removed it, so it's too violent.
Really? It wasn't violent enough, I think.
Too grotesque.
I think, again, maybe that's something else that sells that it's real a bit, is that you and I were sort of actually play fighting.
Well, yeah, like...
We weren't doing naps or anything.
Some of that, I think, is like... It's like a comfort thing. And also, like, I think an aesthetic thing. Like, I always...
Aesthetic.
I always like...
I don't know why I said
like, in a serious play about World War II, there's a bit where I like... There's some... People get hit with trays and...
Sorry... you know they said about my tights were so tight you could see I was circumcised. You're just wearing your underwear. No one mentioned that.
Oh, I can show you some pictures where you'll be able to see some shit.
Why did the reviewers not mention? I don't want to see any shit. I'm sure there was shit on the underwear, but why did the reviewers not mention that?
I've been big dick.
Why did the reviewers not mention that?
Big dick.
I don't know. Like maybe they were a bit bashful.
Small dick energy.
They didn't say small dick energy.
They
did. Meant it.
Look at it. Look at it. It's a behemoth.
Yeah, but why? That's a weird thing to say about your own penis.
Well, I mean, I'm just pointing out the obvious. We're all watching it.
But isn't it like...
We're all looking at it.
I'm not looking at it. But isn't it like... Isn't that a thing like...
They always
people say...
We didn't come up with that. The girls came up with that.
Isn't that a thing that people say, though, when they like have a small penis? They go on about it all the time.
Well, how big it is?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't going on about it. You brought my penis up.
I didn't. You did.
No, you brought it up.
You just said it was a behemoth.
No, but you did bring it up.
Yeah, but you brought it up.
Deny that.
I think...
You went, hang on. Why we were talking about the tights, but why weren't they talking about your penis?
You haven't answered that question.
Because they were scared of it.
That's pathetic.
Let's get back to the play.
I got scared of this woman.
Because she's a strong woman and you're scared of strong women.
Yeah.
You're intimidated.
And my big dick energy didn't pass through.
Tiny dick energy.
And she scared me. She wouldn't go off stage.
Here's an interesting fact. Adam has a micro penis.
And a massive dick.
Oh. That's really actually sexually aggressive that you just said that.
Is it?
Yeah. I have a macro penis.
And look at this bit where you sexually assault Lauren.
That was not written in as well.
Interestingly,
look,
not only was that not written in the script, it was, look at you presenting your genitals to that woman.
We can't make this all about my genitals. Like, even I'm bored now, and I love talking about them.
Is that true?
Do you?
No, I really don't.
I'm bored of the thought of that.
Yet you still bring it up.
Bring what up?
Adam Snob.
Small dick energy.
Yeah, this is the
long monologue.
The monologue.
Yeah, it's boring. Let's talk over this.
No. I was always bored at this bit.
This monologue is based on
shouting.
Sorry, it's based on my first Edinburgh.
Oh yeah.
Where I had a really shit time.
It's basically you.
I pretty much just wrote this. It's pretty much.
Well, let's be honest.
We
wrote this, but actually, this is one of the. So even though Adam and I wrote the show, but we did have a lot of input from. I'd say the cast, especially the girls, in terms of editing lines, and also as we went through, we adapted the lines to them specifically.
I think we don't devise like a lot of companies that come out of East 15 like we did,
which is an acting school in Essex, London. I mean,
a lot of them are devising companies, and they all make the work together. Whereas me and George were very particular about that we were writing the show, but as we work with the actors. We listen back to recordings and we watch it and
Adam refused to watch.
And then George transcribes the script and sort of basically changes it to what they say. And we kind of write lines that we know, we adapt lines and make them more suitable.
Yeah, I mean, and the play is like...
It's a really great community.
The play is like the same, but sometimes they say something slightly different we thought was funny and we write it down. But basically, for the most part, I mean, it's exactly as we wrote it. Which I think is good because I think devised work can often get really messy, and I think this has an appearance of being messy, but it's actually quite.
But it's just like fucking hell. Like, there's so many things where I've seen a really strong show, and then someone clearly decided to do that thing that they wanted to do, and like you can tell, like that's the point in the devised show where someone does that thing that they banged on about for weeks that was shit and no one wanted to do. That's how you can tell it's a devised show.
Sorry, I do want to carry on what you just said, but. There was a fart noise that you just made out of your bum.
Both Christ. In the show and in the room.
I just thought it was getting a bit dry, so I thought I'd mention that you farted.
Can you?
This, even though people thought it was not recorded live.
We tried that. It didn't work.
We tried it. It didn't work.
Was hard.
Alex, the technician of our show and friend, had to walk out on stage with a phone and do it live. And
that was good.
Rubbish. So we decided we couldn't be bothered. The technology wouldn't work, so we recorded this before. It's not actually happening live.
In 2019, you'd have thought.
Yeah, it's just because every shit venue we go to has rubbish internet. Adam isn't actually unplugging anything. Yeah. That's all controlled from the tech.
Irrelevant.
It's also
shouted.
Sorry. It's also just
that run's funny, isn't it?
And we're just like slamming chairs around, making it sound like we're doing stuff.
I think it depends.
Sometimes
I think there were some venues where we had to because they could see us. Yeah.
Fuck off.
The show's very different.
This is important. Let's talk a little bit about this nail gun.
The nail gun, yeah. So it is an actual. People
fucking
standing up.
Igor, sit down.
This is an actual. This is an actual nail gun, right?
I wasn't scared.
But it had, huh?
I wasn't scared here.
You knew it
I'm not bothered. I
I
didn't even move.
The woman in the chair isn't bothered either.
For ages, though, people kept saying they thought the show was real, and we were like...
In the original version of the show,
where did the sound effect come from?
We used to pretend to fire the nail gun, and the sound came out of it, the speakers.
Yeah.
But we decided
that's how nail guns work.
And so what we ended up with, because it used to be a long wire that got stuck, what we ended up doing was buying an extension cable, cutting the end off, attaching it to the nail gun and uncoiling it as we went along, which meant it always came out in a smooth manner.
Yeah.
Which worked really well. But also there was something like a 10 metre... For some reason this nail gun has like a 10 metre cable on it.
That's the first time
Ian was terrified there. Even though it's fake, Ian was actually scared.
George, also as well, Ian used to wear tights, but halfway through the run pretended he couldn't find them.
That's bullshit. They did go missing.
I don't believe
but then,
you.
No, but we didn't believe him at the time. But then you wore the shorts, and we thought he just had some shorts and put them on. And I thought they were funnier.
Yeah,
because you look like a sort of cadet. So I thought that was funny. Oh, also in the lore of the Starship Osiris, which is like geeky word for saying like the logic of the show or the story of the show. Ian is a higher rank than Adam.
Yeah.
I think,
so.
and Ian is my brother.
Am I?
Or relative in some way.
Wait, but I'm your brother.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
You no, maybe not brother. Relative in some way. Zaglar is in the relative of the.
Oh, we can ruin that in this.
If so Zaglar is a relative of as well as King.
Potato-headed fella.
What do you mean?
He's a good friend of ours. We used to live with him.
You're scared of him. Oh, we always think it's really funny for the technician of the show to wear the top from the venue. So we've, as much as possible, we've tried to do that. And I think it's just one slight level of believability, or they laugh because they think we force the technician to do some acting, which is funny.
Yeah. Either way, it doesn't matter.
This pause, I would sometimes spend ages on this because basically I wouldn't carry on until everybody stopped laughing. So if there was someone laughing, I'd look at them for ages, which would make them laugh more, make other people laugh, and then I'd just carry on doing that for ages. I think I was aware this was being filmed, so I didn't make it super
You're good
long.
at that. You're good. Like you're really good at that. Like
I think it's
holding
quite
the
good
silence.
acting. I think I look quite like annoyed and miserable. I think it shows how good an actor I am that I can enthrall an audience.
Yeah, man.
Me on stage. I hadn't finished talking. With just me on stage.
No.
And Adam is on stage with loads of people and cannot.
I don't know. There's been a few times. There was a time when the show didn't get loaded, and you had to go sort it out. Because George
Loaded
also
fries.
It's a serious play.
George also plots the lighting, and we had a guy who knew how to run the desk, but didn't know
You
how
want
to do any of
Sebastian?
that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an idiot. I think he did fix it actually. I helped him, but I think he did actually manage.
But I was just standing on stage, and people were laughing.
Yeah, that was quite
I
embarrassing.
think they were laughing at you.
Yeah, but that's fine.
But this is I'm forcing people to come.
Yeah,
up. So this woman didn't want to come up. So I think
This is my favourite bit of the show.
the best way I think with getting people to come up who didn't want to come up is just shouting at them until they do, and then peer pressure sort of works because the audience are just like, well, the play's not moving on until they do. And
People-
at the
if
end of the
people
day,
don't
I'm
wanna
not
get
doing
up-
anything horrible.
If
I'm
people
just being
do,
nasty.
also if people don't want to get up, they will be determined.
Another little sort of spoiler, I suppose, for people who are bothering to listen to this. A lot of these responses I've used before. It does seem like spur of the moment, but actually people tend to do the same thing every time.
I don't think that's completely.
No.
You do add stuff in, but
Yeah, of course,
you
of
are
course,
improvising the whole way through.
I'm improvising, but people do the same thing lots of people do the same thing every time. So if
Yeah.
I found something people always laughed at, like I asked them to do it in an accent, and if they do manage to do it, I look surprised. And if they and if they don't manage to do it, then I
all right, I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, and if they don't manage to do it, then I make fun of them. Like that's an easy thing to do every time. And in this one, like she was actually really, really good at an American accent, and it did surprise me because I thought she'd be rubbish because she wasn't up for it.
This one.
It's the
I
woman
love
on
this
the
bit.
right.
I love this bit.
When I come out from behind the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe she
Fucking
was American.
mental.
She wasn't. She was like Northern or something. Listen, because she does it and then does it again. I don't think Ian's watched this since we did it.
You've terrified so many women with that.
Chill out. That sounds bad out of context.
It's not.
Yeah, I think the worst for me when this happened was when we had people up on stage who were like who are actors or performative in some way.
Yeah.
What's fun is, I think, as an audience member, is watching another audience member struggling to do acting. She's in it. So the woman on the right is in on it now. Also, I picked her because she was like scowling the whole way through. And she seems to be enjoying it now.
I also think as well, like you learn. I think at drama school when people are like a bit scared, they pick their mates. And
Sorry, this is the bit that we're talking about with the. So she did it in a funny accent, and then she would do it. She did it in quite a good American accent, and then I'm surprised. And that sort of thing happened a few times.
It's great when the audience get behind them and like against us.
Oh, my nose does that thing where only one side of it
Oh yeah.
breathes in, so it gets like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
But
the Ian character.
A nerd.
But we never pick our friends as well. When we're
Oh yeah.
people.
That's the
Just doesn't
anti-comedy when you try and pick, and then they pretend to not. I mean, sometimes I've had to because there's been like not many people in the audience, but yes. I think a sort of comment we've had a bit about the show that I think if we were to do it again and elongate it, would take more into account is it ends very abruptly. I quite like that because the normal narrative of a theatre play doesn't.
Well, you've always said a lot that this second half should be longer.
Yeah,
is the main thing.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the one thing we definitely got right with the play we did after this was serious players. I think the first half to second half ratio was better. It was 15 minutes to like 45 or something, and this should have been more like that.
But I guess with this one as well, we got the opportunity with it where we can keep elongating it. Or someone pointed out right at the end of the fucking run, so stupid that we could have used the nail gun to nail the coffin shut.
Adam.
We never thought of that.
Why didn't you fire that the right way, Adam?
You try it.
Well,
I got it right every other night.
Well, we haven't got any proof of that.
George, too weak to lift that chair off the coffin.
Yeah, that's stupid, isn't it? Here's another few things about the coffin. I suppose we're wrapping up in a second, but the coffin. I was still in it. I don't know where people always ask me if I was still in it. Obviously, I was. Where would I have gone? and
Boffin in a coffin.
I didn't used to respond to people if they came up and said anything now because we decided that I fainted at some point or passed out.
We bought it from an old woman in Southampton, which you watched that video, and my dad.
Oh yeah, that's
did
on
it
the coffin. But also, I quite like the idea. We also said
Thanks,
basically
Dad.
I was unconscious, but I quite like the idea that I fell asleep. Like I've been really, it got dark for a bit, and I was over it.
We used to do a different version of it where George got carried out and he sat in a blanket
outside,
and we pretended he wet himself.
But I think,
and sometimes he had.
People thought it was I hadn't, and people thought it was.
This is also George singing.
Yep, well, that wasn't. That was you. But the on the video it is Federico Moro.
Yeah.
Imagine if there was just an N on the end of that name. What would it make? Music by Ian Fleming, who now goes as Ian Coulter. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Livia Rita. May Munjim is my grandmother. She made she knitted the balaclavas.
Ryan Blackwood, rest in peace.
Yeah, he passed away. No, he didn't. I edited it, lest we forget. And it is going to finish in not very long. But yeah,
I hope this was informative. I hope it was useful. I mean, we were talking shit through a lot of that, but
I think that's not grammatically correct. Actually,
boring shit.
I hope some of that was interesting, useful.
It wasn't useful to anyone. I hope it was enjoyable in some way. I think that's an hour, so I think we should finish. But yeah, I suppose thanks very much for downloading this and listening, a good one, bothering, and also buying the DVD.
And if you're watching this, I assume you're enough of a fan that you enjoyed our work. Thank you so much for helping us out throughout the years and coming to see our shows and supporting us.
Just have a good one, yeah.